that is what happens when you've been in isolation for so long. You start to realize other people's hidden talents. And for those who don't know who that was actually Patty Mills and Steven Adams from the
Patty Mills, San Antonio Spurs.
On where?
San Antonio Spurs.
From the Spurs, that's right. From the Spurs and also from the Thunders.
From the Thunder,
yeah. So there you go. So, I mean, pretty much, I actually kind of found it surprising that. Well, I don't really find it surprising anymore. Nowadays, you start to realize that some of these people, like players, the basketball players, the NFL players, they have different talents. So you can see here, Patty Mills and Steven Adams added in. And so, I mean, I thought it was pretty nice, pretty fitting as far as everything that's going on around, nowadays. Sometimes you need a little tranquility instead of all the hecticness going on outside. So, for those who don't know, I am Frank, alongside Carlos, or as the street calls him, Greeny. What's up, Greeny?
What's up, man?
What's up? So what's your take on this?
I'm just saying, like, this is kind of the new norm. Like, the way that we have to communicate is now pretty much like this, like through
what we're doing right now, keeping our distance.
Through technology, and pretty much Patty Mills and Steven Adams kind of the same way. They're just doing, same thing. It has to be through computers, using technology, because we can't really be socializing that much.
Now that you mentioned technology about it, can you imagine if this outbreak happened during like the 90s? They were doing like,
the last outbreak was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, like the Spanish flu in like 1918 or something like that. But man, I think eventually, I mean, I'm not saying that it takes a toll on people, but it's like now it's getting to a point where you can't see past tomorrow. You really don't know what's gonna happen.
I mean, there's a lot of people that can't work. Those that can, they're lucky enough have to do it from home, and sometimes it's just too much to be at home, not being able to go out, and just you appreciate more like going to work. I actually miss going to the office because it's like
you miss being late to work.
Exactly. Like I miss having to wake up and be like, oh damn, I have to drive to work. Like
definitely.
That's not happening now.
But I mean, it's crazy though, because did you ever think that it'll get this far? Like, did you ever think that we'll go? I mean, because think about it, we have played with the idea for so long through novels and movies and all these fantasies about an outbreak, and look what happens now. Now, mind you, it's not the glorified outbreak that we're used to, but
I mean, they're based. Those movies like Outbreak, Contagion, they're based on kind of real life. They just obviously it's the Hollywood version of it. So
of course they have to take it to the extreme.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what this reminds me of? On how quickly it spread. You remember the movie? Was it Planet of the Apes or Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? The first one with James Franco. It was James Franco and Caesar.
It was probably Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn of the Apes, but remember towards the end that scene with the pilot, and that he coughed on his hand, and as soon as he did that, you saw this whole animated transition on how quickly things spread throughout the entire globe, and
like the start of humanity extinction.
Exactly. Now, mind you, this is like taking it to the extreme, but at this point in time, now you really don't know what's going to happen next. We shot up in the amount of people that have been, affected by this, whether it be here or whether it be in Italy, I mean, in Europe, pretty much the entire world, it's just going through it right now. And it kind of just feels surreal. It kind of like feels like a long weekend, so. But speaking of which, I mean, you mentioned that it affected the way of living for people, but how has it like affected you? You said that like you're working from home, right?
Yeah, I'm working from home. Yeah.
But like how, I mean, was that from the start, or you just like just started recently?
It started about what is it? I'm already 2 weeks in.
Okay.
But yeah, it's what I said, like I don't know. At the beginning, I started just kind of doing everything. I'm home, so I could do certain things, and at the same time trying to work. And then I just found it exhausting, kind of, because in my days off, I'm like, man, I don't want to be here. It feels like I'm at work because I'm working from home.
It
So
does, man.
so I just kind of learned, like, okay, no, I have to separate one or the other. I have my workspace. I don't move from there when it's work hours, and then just kind of going through the routine, waking up, acting like I'm going out to work, doing the same thing, and then just kind of,
Like still showering and stuff.
exactly. So showering still. I mean,
Well, you
obviously,
barely shower, so I guess
no,
instead of showering every 2 days, now you
that
shower
is,
every four or something.
do not confuse me with other people. But no, like waking up, doing the same thing, making breakfast, and then kind of getting ready. Like instead of just being in your pajamas,
Yeah.
putting on some clothes, even if you're staying home.
Are you the type to stay in your pajamas, or do you change into like
That's
more appropriate attire? So you're not into that whole sleeping bed feeling.
the thing for me is the first week I was sick. So no, not
Yeah,
coronavirus, but
wait, you stay away from me.
I was sick, and I was in my pajamas. But then after the first week, I did like just change, not into like proper attire, but just like
Right.
still some shorts and a shirt, but still not pajama. Not wearing my pajamas, but just like other clothes,
Right.
just to kind of get into that routine and feel like I'm doing something different.
Right. I mean, I've also been going through like the same thing too. Is like, I was, lucky enough in which, I am working from home. I'm blessed enough to say that, this outbreak hasn't affected, my job I guess my job security for now. At the end of the day, things change from one day to another. But I have been waking up, every day, like around 6 o'clock, as my wife actually still goes to work. She works at the hospital, and so pretty much, it's like a frontline battle for her, like every day, especially, when you're so close to it, So, I'm still going through the routine, waking up at 6, and then on top of that, I do have to be kind of like, on my computer by 8ish o'clock, because we have some people in different time zones, so I got to make sure that I am able to coordinate with them. So, I kind of still keep my routine going. I'm not gonna lie. I love the fact that I don't have to worry about traffic anymore. Especially for the, gas, exactly. Gas. That's one thing. Mind you, for those who don't know, and I live in Miami. So, and I travel all the way up to Boca at least 2 to 3 times a week. And mind you, I try to not take the car, and so I would take the train instead. Now, when this whole thing happened, now mind you, like I was shitting bricks because I was in a train packed with people, and almost towards the last days before I started to work from home, it was so chaotic in there on the things that you've seen. Like you see people with Lysol spray whenever anybody cough. You see like some lady, doing all of that. And so, I admit, I like that I don't have to worry about the whole hustle and bustle for traffic anymore. But just like you said, you just have to get into the groove, kind of separate yourself from home and work. And that's what I feel like a lot of people, like are struggling with, because they get sidetracked, they get bored, So, I understand those out there who try to make things interesting working from home, So, but now that we're in quarantine, now, and mind you, not everyone has the same quarantine orders, quarantine, rule sets that they have to follow. And obviously there's some areas that's worse than others. New York, for example, New York is the baddest state you could be in right now. There's like a lot going on there as far as, how much people are getting affected by the day. And so, but now here in Florida, in case you've been living under a rock, I know now DeSantis has officially ordered a stay-at-home, ordinance, I guess you can call it, but it's still not a full lockdown. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people who are trying to criticize DeSantis, which is the governor for Florida, and also some people are criticizing Mayor Jimenez too, because they're feeling that they're not taking the enough precautionary measures in order to contain this, especially in an area like Miami. You know, do you think that we have enough measures in place, or do you think that we need to tighten down on those?
I mean, from what I read, it was pretty much like non-essential jobs and employees have to stay home. Mm-hmm. If it's, for example, your wife that works at a hospital, obviously that's an essential person, so she has to go in to work. But non-essential, you know, it's just about if you have to go. Like, for example, I had to go to get some groceries, a couple of things here and there, and I went to Sam's Club, and there was a huge line. Everybody just had masks and gloves, and they were letting people in, like maybe like 5 people in, stop, 5 people in, stop. Right. And I mean,
but do you think that that's enough though to really contain what's going on? Because every day it seems like these numbers are just shooting up, and it's the people. At the end of the day, it's not that we're not doing enough. It's just the people, especially, you know, in South Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're saying that the numbers are going to continue to shoot up. Maybe by I believe May 1st, we're going to be like 175 confirmed deaths. Right now we're like at 130 or so. So.
Well, for 130 for the state.
For Miami-Dade, I believe.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let me share something with you. I found this really interesting as far as, you know, what exactly is going on, you know, as far as the actual, I guess you can say, you know, per state, the type of, you know, effects on it. As you can see here, you know, the site, you can actually find it on the CDC.gov website, and it pretty much just gives you a rundown to what's going on, you know, to the reported cases in the U.S. and also, you know, its other territories. And it's alarming. Look at the area that are most heavily affected. Florida, California, Washington, New York, New Jersey. And, you know, it's areas with that's very heavily populated, you know. So it's you know, once you get over 5,000 cases, that's when it starts, you know, to get more serious. And I think that we need stronger measures, to be honest with you, because it's getting to a point where you go to the park now, and the park technically are supposed to be closed, and yet there are people walking. I understand that people want to get their fitness in, and they want to you know, have their exercise and to be able to battle boredom, but dude, you're risking exposing yourself and others around you, you know. So then on top of that, this is another thing I also found interesting, in which is this is like you know, I guess you could say like a heat map of all the cases that's going on throughout, you know, the entire county of Dade. And as you can see here, you know, the most heavily affected area is Cutler Bay. Then you got areas like South Miami. In this area here, you got Hialeah. And if you zoom in, you'll start to notice, you know, the more specific areas on where this thing is actually being affected. You can see Allapattah, Brownsville area, Miami Beach. So what do you think, man? You think people are just not caring?
I mean, there's gonna be people that are still gonna do what they do. It's like, you know, we live in Florida, we get hurricanes. There's people that even when there's a hurricane coming, they're like, I don't care, I'm gonna go to the beach, I'm gonna surf. There's those people that just really don't care. They don't believe in things. They're like, you know, the media is the one saying it, it's not really that bad. So they just go about doing things normally instead of actually trying to, like, you know, think about others and follow the rules. Just stay home. It's not that hard to do. Just stay home a couple of weeks. I mean, go out every once in a while. Obviously, you need to go. You just go out. You could take a little walk around your block, get back in, just so you can see something different. So you could, you know, because it does get kind of claustrophobic for people that suffer from that if they're home all the time. But that's
Right.
it. It just don't do things that you're not supposed to be doing. I mean, if you need to go to the if you need to go to the doctor, so I mean, there's a lot of I know because I work in the health field. There's a lot of doctors that are doing telehealth, which is that you can talk to them through like you and me are talking right now through the computer. That's it. You do
So
that. No,
so there's really no need to actually go out there and do these things. It's just like you said, you know, you're bored, yeah, take a walk around your complex or around your block, but go back in, you know, don't go to areas where you're bound to find other people, because at the end of the day that you're just continuing this whole trend of all these numbers just shooting up, you know, like dramatically. Look, let me show you something here. This is by my house actually the other day. So now mind you, this is a group of what we like to call here in Miami, abuelitos. It's just a bunch of abuelitos just hanging out, comiendo mierda, is what people are saying right now. And no mask in sight, no gloves in sight, no nothing in sight. And this is a couple of nights ago. Mind you, I passed by again today, and they're still out there. But now it's even worse. Now they actually got these foldable chairs now that pretty much is like that's their camping ground. That's their social spot, and it's yeah. Now they have masks and everything like that, but they're not getting the point of social distancing. They're not getting the point of stay home, and that's what infuriates me whenever I go out. Mind you, people have lives. I understand. Whatever. You know, you gotta go to McDonald's, you gotta go to CVS, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, whatever. That's fine. Just do it. Go back home. And it's just frustrating that so many people are staying home, and these are the ones that are causing the infection to continue to spread.
well, do you think that maybe that should bring about maybe the cops being more
They're
reinforced?
supposed to. They're supposed to. This is a restaurant, and restaurants are only meant to operate with, you know, with takeout services, and that's it.
Yeah, take it on delivery.
Yeah, they have, or delivery. You know, if they have the resources for that, yeah. But you, if you're hearing this and you own a restaurant or you work in a restaurant, please make it a point to tell your people to not hang around your spot. Take your food and go. Take it and go. That's all you gotta do. You know, but it is what it is. And then on top of that, not only are people not respecting it, but now it's getting to a point where people are making fun of it. You know, kind of like putting the fear in people. I don't know if you heard about this man up in the Charlotte area. I'm not quite sure how to say that name. I may be butchering this. Albemarle Police Department. This guy was going around Walmart on Facebook Live saying that he got it, and saying that if I get it, you get it too. He doesn't get two flying F's about it and whatnot. And I mean, the good thing about it is that he got arrested. He got arrested. He got fined and all that good stuff. And you know, he was reprimanded for it. But there are people out there who do have it. Mind you, they don't publicly say it, but they are out there and going about their business and just doing this. And this is why things are spreading. This is the reason why, you know, like all these numbers shot up so quickly. So it's what it is, man.
So where was this exactly? You said Albemarle, but where is Albemarle at?
North Carolina. If I'm not mistaken, it's North Carolina. And he was just out there on Facebook Live and just talking smack, saying that he have it and that pretty much, you know, he doesn't care about who he gives it to. He even had the nerve towards the end of his video to say, if y'all got weak immune defense systems, if you use old people, if you don't mind you, that's how you talk. If you use old people and all that, so that automatically just tells me, you know, like the level of ignorance that this guy has. You know, when he can't even construct a sentence, you know, in his damn Facebook Live. But just going on about it, and it's just, dude, I don't know, man. It's just no words for it, you know.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, but yeah, man. So you were saying that you were working from home, but what do you do exactly though?
I work for health insurance.
Health insurance?
Yeah, so either members or providers, they'll call us and they just need help with certain things. Like I actually got a call about when I was still at the office about a man. He has a catheter, so he needs alcohol and he needs wipes and he needs tissue, all of these things. And he was freaking out because he went to Walgreens, CVS, he went to Walmart, and he couldn't find any. They were
So
all
just because he couldn't find it, he decided, hey,
well,
I'm just
because
gonna call my health insurance.
well, he's self catheter, so he needs that every time he needs. If you know what a catheter is, every time he needs to go ahead and do that. So if he doesn't, then he ends up in the ER with an infection. So he called the insurance to see if we can tell them where to go, that they'll provide that if we have that information.
Yeah.
Obviously we don't, because we don't pay for that. Like the insurance doesn't pay for, you go to buy alcohol, that's over the counter. That's your money. We don't have anything to do with that. The thing is that I had to deal with him for like half an hour, and he was just complaining about it. I understood that he was someone in need of this. There were a lot of people that were ordering all these toilet papers and alcohol that they didn't need it at all.
Don't get me started on those orders.
Exactly. So
he was there, right, man? Yeah.
He was freaking out because of that. The thing is that after all this conversation and trying to calm him down and trying to actually help him, he tells me that he has enough materials for a whole month. But he freaking out because of what he was hearing in the news, because of everything that was going on, that he was like, I need to go and get more. Even though he still had a month worth of supplies of alcohol and all of these things.
So he was trying to hoarder himself in a way.
Exactly. I mean, he has a point to want to do that, but you have enough material,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's not as bad as he was making it out to be.
Exactly. And that just brings me to another point. People don't take if you don't need it. If you have hand sanitizer, if you have wipes, and if you have everything that you need to keep yourself safe out there, don't get more. Yes, I understand the reasoning behind it. Well, the innocent reason behind it, and that would be to just prepare just in case anything happens, I guess you can say. But if you have it now, and don't go at it, wait like another month to go get another one, wait a couple of weeks to go get some more, just for yourself and your family, but
the thing is that in a good way, this is not again, I bring the whole hurricane thing back because we're here in Florida, where everything closes down because you have to, and there's no power, there's nothing at all, so you end up having to hoard all these things. Now that's not the case. You actually can go and find toilet paper and alcohol and wipes and all of those things, because luckily there's certain people that are still doing those things, that are stocking up everything, that pharmacies and supermarkets are still getting those supplies. It's just a little bit different, maybe a little less, but it's still happening. So you don't really have to go into a panic and buy all these things and have it in your house, and then once everything passes, wait, what am I gonna do with all of this? I wasted all this money on everything, for nothing.
Yeah, well, at least from my household, it's gotten to a point where we stopped trying to find supplies at CVS's and Walgreens and all those places, because we just gave up. At the end of the day, I was just wasting my breath over and over again. Do you have alcohol? Do you have the wipes? And it's no. It's the same story all over again. So we started to venture out into warehouses, around my area that sells things, for wholesales, I guess you can say. And so we were fortunate enough to find some there, and pretty much my wife is the type to care about her mom and her dad and her well-being. Mind you, they are older people, and so those are the ones that have to take care of themselves the most. And so we were able to get a pretty decent size of hand sanitizer that we shared with them as well, so just to stop them from going out. And so So yeah, man. So I mean, just go out there, guys, and don't be crazy animals about it. You know, don't be savages about it. Just get for you for what you need, not in excess. You know what I'm saying? So
And I actually have a story. A coworker of mine told me, and I was like, really? Like, how are people getting that way? Where her sister had gone to the supermarket and had her cart, and she kind of left it on the side, and she went to grab something, and it was like in the top shelf. And when she went to grab it, she grabbed it, she went to her cart, and this lady had her cart. And she's like, that's my car. Can I, let me get it back? And the lady's like, no, that's my car. And what you have in your hand is also mine. And she just snatched it out of her hand like nothing. And it's like, really? Like, that's how people are acting? Like,
this pandemonium just brings out this character, in people, because there's two ways that we can look at it. It brings out the crazy side of people, and also brings out the caring side of people. Caring about what's going on, caring about your family, caring about making sure that you're practicing, everything that's going on. And so at the end of the day, we can't control people, we can't force them, we can just hope. And from I don't want to sound like this is the PSA announcement or anything like that, but from coming from me and Carlos, from the Guys channel and its entire staff, let's be civilized, people. Let's do what's right, So let's just take it easy. Let's just take a step back and just take it easy, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know what? Enough talking about this whole seriousness about COVID-19 or Corona, or as what's his girl's name? The female rapper,
Cardi B.
Cardi B, yeah. I don't know, like if you already seen those videos. Coronavirus. No,
I haven't. No, I have not. No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh my God! Like you really have to check it out. Actually, I should have pulled it up right there. So maybe if anything, for the next show, we'll put up that as an intro, for our podcast ish. I mean, I guess this is not really a podcast. I don't know what you would call this. What would you call this? Is it sit down, a talk?
I have a broadcast. I don't know how to even give it a name. It's just
listening. It's just listening to two guys talk. That's what it is. And it's just a way for you to beat boredom.
Right. Late night talk shows are doing this with their guests instead of having the celebrities come to the studio. Yeah. They're just at their home and they're interviewing them through Skype or through whatever application they're using.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just two guys bouncing ideas off each other, bouncing his thoughts and stories off each other.
Do you think, let me just bounce off the topic right here. Do you think that the NBA is coming back?
Before you get into that, so 30 minutes and 40 something seconds, are we like cutting and then, or is it actually still going? Huh?
We're just gonna go until it stops.
Okay. All right.
But yeah. So, do you think that the NBA is coming back?
I thought it was, but then I actually read the other day because we were doing. I was doing a video. I wrote a script for video that I wanted to do, and I wanted to talk about sports. And I was looking into the NBA, and they said that they were optimistic about bringing it back. I think a league in China, they tried to have games in an arena with no fans and a certain amount of staff, and they couldn't do it. So the NBA kind of saw that China failed to do that. And
China's still trying to recover from what's going on.
Right, but they were still trying to have that. And I guess to give something to the people. I think you agree with me. Sometimes when you put on ESPN, you want to watch sports, and you're watching replays of other games that you've already seen. It's like, oh, come on.
That's what they were playing the other day. I don't know if you have NBA TV. Actually, I don't even think you have to have NBA TV, because I think the NBA, I guess their channel, I guess what you can call it, they were offering to everybody to watch past games, all these hardwood classic, whether it be the Spurs Heat finals game 6 and things like that, and with the shot. Everyone from Miami knows the shot.
The shot.
So bang.
I remember where I was at the time.
I remember where I was too.
Yeah. We're actually in the same location. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty much that was pretty exciting. But now that's what's going on now. Now there's no NBA, no NFL for.
Well, it's not MLB, the spring training. They canceled that.
Yeah.
What was I going to tell you? But the NBA had like a plan in place where they wanted to have games in the UCLA gym, and I believe in Vegas as well, where they go summer league. And again, when they saw what happened with the China League, and they started looking at the numbers, they're like, yeah, no, it's not possible. No. They're going to do it. Everybody that tested negative, like for example, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell. It's like, no, you're not playing.
For those who don't know, Rudy Gobert is a prime example of karma is a bitch. And pretty much the fact that he was making fun of the fact that, like he wasn't taking it serious, touching on the mic, and then what was it, like a week later, he tested positive?
I don't know. You know how I saw it though, is they were so concerned about the fans being the ones to affect the players, or just being, the ones to start the thing, the virus, the spread, and it ends up being a player, the first one to kind of be tested positive in the whole NBA kind of family community.
Exactly. And so, I mean, to those, I'm pretty sure that me speaking for all the guys out there, and all the women too, because I'm pretty sure women speak sports too as well, and love to watch sports. We miss sports. We miss watching games. We miss the NBA. As you may know, I'm a Heat fan. You're a Heat fan, I'm hoping. So, I know that the Heat they were in a slump, but they got to a point where they were starting to go higher and higher as far as, like the momentum. Until this whole thing happened. So now, in a way, I think this is good for the Heat, to the fact that we're able to recover our players. We had an issue with Miles Leonard. We had an issue with the baby goat. In case people who don't know who the baby goat is, that's Hero. So I guess, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this kind of like a good way for all the teams to reset themselves? Any injuries that you have pending, now you get to heal out of it. So now when the season does resume, if it resumes this season, and that's not even talking about what's going to happen at the end of the day, like how do you end the season? Do you postpone the season? What's going to happen? So it's kind of I think this is good for everybody, taking a break from this.
Every year there's going to be injuries. It happens in every sport. So I don't think it's good. It's not good, because when you look at NBA as a business, which it is, you have so many people that this kind of has you thinking about all the people that work, like the people at the arenas and the venues.
Yeah, exactly.
What happens with them? Obviously, a lot of teams have said, well, we're going to pay them as if there's games going on that they're working. But it's a lot of money that's being lost. Look at the cap room, the cap space.
Exactly.
Limit, that's gonna go down most likely. It's been going up every year. It's probably
automatically it's gonna go down, especially if there's no revenue coming in. What's the only other source of revenue? It is the fan, and since there's no game, there's nothing coming in.
And I'm a wrestling fan, so they still have events, like they had WrestleMania yesterday and today.
They still have it?
They divided it in 2 nights. So what they do is that they do it, but in an empty arena. They're doing it in their practice facility in Orlando.
I didn't know that. So they're still carrying on with their events?
Yeah. You can see the events, but there's no fans. And so when you're looking at these guys wrestling, you're hearing the announcers, but you're not hearing any reaction, and that kind of takes away from the fun of it, the entertainment side, because sometimes you hear them come out, talk, and you hear people boo or people cheer, and they kind of
especially with finishers or people trying to catch them by surprise. There's no like you said, reaction. Oh, people like in the
Yeah,
back.
it's part of the fun when you're just laughing. You're like, damn, I wanna,
So it kind of looks like watching wrestling live, because mind you, when you're watching wrestling through the TV, you hear the announcers, you hear all of that, but then when you're watching it now on TV, is it like silent
No,
and stuff?
not at all. I mean, because when you're watching it live, you have all these audience and people start chanting and you start chanting. We went to a wrestling event. You started chanting for Randy Orton, and then people,
That's right,
people caught
Randy
on to it.
Orton. Randy Orton, the Viper.
Yeah, people caught on to it, and that's
Yeah.
kind of a really great feeling. Like, oh man, yeah, I started a chant, or where you're chanting along, and it's fun. It's part of the fun. And when you're watching, now that I watch wrestling, there's no fans in the crowd. It's like it just takes away from it. It's like
Yeah, I mean, this thing, it's affected everything in life, everything. It's the way you live now. Now, this has created, like a subculture. This has created, like I guess you can say, like it's the norm now to not have a mask. No, man, actually, you look at a place. Sorry, I'm correcting myself. You look at a place if you don't have a mask. You look at a place if you don't have gloves on. Before you see someone with gloves or mask, you can be like, "Wait, qué exagerado este," Pero now it's a must.
on that end though, because when we look at it, let's look at that like more in depth. You have gloves on. You touch a surface. You go somewhere else. You touch a different surface. Maybe you're not getting exposed, but someone else can get exposed that doesn't have gloves. Because if you touch a surface, then you gotta take the gloves off, put a new glove
Exactly.
on.
But that's if you keep the glove on for the entire day. Like for example, me, on the times when I go out, I only put the glove on when I go in the store, and when I leave, I take them off.
Well, think about how many people don't. I again, when I went out to Sam's Club to get some stuff, there was people that were coming out of their car with the gloves on already.
See,
There was people
you're
that-
defeating the purpose.
There was people that didn't have the mask on. They would just put the mask in the cart, and then once they got closer to the store, then they would put it on. Guess what? If somebody that's exposed to coronavirus touched that cart, and you put your mask, and then you touch the mask, you're exposed.
You got it. You got it. Exactly. You got it. So you just gotta rotate your gloves, rotate your mask, or when you're done in the store, take it off. There's no need to continue using your glove within the car, because let's say, for example, just like you say, if you did touch something that is infected, now your steering wheel is infected, and everything else that you touched.
I mean, you can have carry 3 pairs with you or something, and once you get out of the store, take them off, put new ones on, right? And then there's a certain way to take them off. You got to take one off, and then kind of the other one you put it inside that one. So, I'm sorry, you take one off, and then the next one you cover the other one.
Yeah, I see. We don't usually do this.
Exactly, you don't touch the outside of the glove. So you do that, then you put a new glove, and you can go in your car now. And then once
you
you get
use the mask?
don't touch the mask.
No, I'm asking if you use it.
I don't have a mask. I don't have mask. I don't have gloves.
I like to do it, like the old Western style. No, I actually don't wear a mask. I know that it's an added level of protection, but that's the reason why I just don't go out. I just don't want to deal with having to put on gloves and mask and hand sanitizer myself, wash my hands and all. Even though people, please wash your hands every hour or whenever you can, wash your hands. Make sure that you are washing your hands constantly. But that's the reason why I don't like to go out. I just don't want to deal with having to always be paranoid with the next person next to me. And it's going to be that way for a while, but...
I mean, from this, I just hope everybody kind of takes things with them. Like, just be more conscious of your hygiene, pretty much. I think that's a big one. I mean, I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, really? You're telling people to wash their hands? Like they haven't been doing that before?" And yeah, a lot of people.
So it's like wash your hands more often. It's like wash your hands more often.
A lot of people don't do it. Period. You'll go into a public restroom and you'll see just people.
Oh, that's nasty. Yeah.
Walk out like
that's one thing I can't stand. Whenever.
It's like you should do that there. And obviously now it's a little bit, do it more. I mean, if you come home, if you went outside, You came back in home, wash your hands. If you're gonna go outside, wash your hands. I don't know, just do it more often. But yeah, like.
So more of the story, wash your hands.
Exactly. But the thing is that there's people that never did it or that wasn't really into it, and maybe this opens their eyes and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna start doing this.
Speaking about opening eyes, this whole quarantine has brought out a lot of hobbies for people, a lot of side hustles, a lot of like interesting things to do, things that you normally wouldn't do because either A, you don't have the time for it, or B, it's just never come across it. I mean, have you done anything different, or have you taken up any new hobbies, while this whole quarantine has been going on?
I wouldn't say I've taken anything that's new. It's just kind of more focused on, things that I was already working on, but I didn't have enough time, like the content for the channel. And then playing off of that, just learn, I guess editing a lot, just grabbing videos, just doing it and editing just to learn more.
Yeah, this has given a lot of time to a lot of people to do things that you would normally say I don't have time for. But and for example, my daughter, she's a teenager, so her room always looks like a gym locker at times, and sometimes smells like a gym locker. But now that,
like that.
Huh?
Don't put her out there like that. Don't put her out there like that.
I have to, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only parent out there that has kids. They know that the rooms looks a little suspect. But with this whole thing going on, she has taken this approach and this initiative to remodel her room completely. She remodeled it. She cleaned it from top to bottom. I'm telling you, I could eat off that floor now. And I feel it's good for her. It's giving her a way to, take on new discipline, to actually see, hey, if I take some time to freaking fix my room, my room could look nice. She has put up all these, I guess you can call it wallpapers or wall banners and stuff.
Right. And posters.
No, it's not posters. Actually, they're literally
actual wallpaper,
the size of walls. Yeah.
Okay.
And so she has now like this winter, and not winter, but this enchanted forest vibe now. And on top of that, she also has like these ambient lighting. So now her room looks pretty cool. Now I'm a little jelly of it. Now, mind you, I can't have that in my room because my wife won't let me. But it looks nice, and this is like I was saying, if this is only what you do, this is what you do when you have time, you have nowhere to go. You start to do things differently. Like the other day, I wanted to go around, around my complex, and mind you, you'll be surprised at the amount of people that I have met. Obviously, at a distance. I don't get close to them or anything like that, but you start to see things, you start to, observe more of what's around you. And so, I mean, that's one good thing that I found out of it, as far as, doing things to pass time and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
It might sound funny. I mean, all of the guys out there, we kind of the same one. It's like we come home from work or just from the street and we just kind of put stuff. We just put stuff like on a desk or something and we just leave it there. And in this week, I was like, I looked at my desk and I was like, wait, it's way too messy. And I'm working from it. And you're not gonna believe it, but I actually was like, wait, I have a drawer that's empty and I don't have anything in there. And I have all this stuff on my desk
So you just organize yourself.
And I just organized the desk and used the drawer like, why, I have this empty drawer? Let me put stuff in here. And it's perfect. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of millions of people are starting to reorganize their closets, reorganize their desks, and just right now, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. At the end of the day, I see it like this. If you come out of this quarantine and you haven't done anything, then you were pretty much just wasting your time. This is like the perfect time to start something new, right? So start something new, organize something, take up something, draw, read a book, read this, read that, go to Audible. If you go to Audible, they have now all these discounts, to actually go ahead and do it. There's so many services right now that are either half off or they give you, such great deals on, just for you to pass time along with this, of course. This is what you listen to. Me and Carlos, and late at night, just to get you by, just to get you to sleep. But do something with this time. This is the time to do something, guys. So,
I mean, another great thing to do is you can find apps and just kind of certain exercises.
Apps or ass?
Apps.
Oh, apps. Okay, I thought you said ass.
No, apps that will have kind of exercises if you don't know what exercise to do, and you can just download that, and now you have the time to work out. For the people like, I never have time to work out. Well, now you do, because you're home. So do that, and it's great. It'll feel great. I mean, do that, and then maybe run. You go outside and you just run. I mean, I know that one of the things that
but stay away from parks, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying go to the park. I'm just saying run around your block. That's it. And if you see a lot of people around, just don't run that way. Go the other way.
Yeah, run away from people.
Right, but it's something else that you could do. And maybe at the end of the day, you'll be like, damn, I'm healthier. I'm healthier.
Healthier. Healthier. So what you're saying is, people should either look like Thor in Endgame.
No.
Or people should look like Thor from the first Avenger.
Well, I'm saying people have the chance to look like Thor from the first Avenger if they're looking like Thor from Endgame. That's what.
Maybe vice versa. Maybe you come out look, with a little beer belly there, because people got down. They're bored. They eat. Don't eat, people. Don't eat because you're bored. Man.
Exactly. Let's do something else. Do exercise.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways to learn new things. Just go on the internet and look for them. If you want to learn and pick up a new hobby, then pick up that new hobby. Just do it.
You know what? You know what we're gonna do for the next show? Let's come back with some hobbies, or some things to do that okay. That's our challenge for today. Is pick up a hobby that you was never doing before, and now all of a sudden you started doing it, just to see, how it is. And we're gonna bring it to you guys. We're gonna bring it to you, our experience on it, what things that we can do, so we can share with you guys on different ways to pass time. Because we're in this together. We're gonna get through this, guys. It's just boring for now, but it's for our own benefit, guys, for our own safety.
And not even that. I mean, I think that this medium that we have here, we're using Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
It's free. You want to speak with your...
But Zoom, if you want to sponsor us.
But if you want to speak with your family or friends, just,
Zoom. There's
FaceTime.
Yeah. And you know what? If any of you guys out there want to be part of the show and just give your 2 cents input, just let us know. Maybe we'll have you on the show. At the end of the day, we're just here to just let it all out. And that's what it's about. So I think for now, we're gonna go ahead and say our adios. Pretty much, we're gonna go ahead and try to do this as often as possible to give you guys, something to look forward to, besides your family and besides everything else, something, just to slap on your AirPods, slap on whatever you want to slap on, and just chill with us at night. You know what I'm saying? And if you wanna hear us talk about something else, in the next episodes or so, just let us know. Drop a comment. Hit that like. And just help us continue to just allow us to come into your homes. That kind of sounded creepy.
Yeah.
All right, allow us to come into your phones. And just Carlos, anything else you want to say before we go?
Just letting people know, we're just trying to create content, things to entertain people. So obviously, we're gonna use this medium and also to maybe give you guys news of what it is that we're doing, or what's coming up. So, and again, if you guys have things that you want us to talk about, just go ahead and let us know. We'll do it. I mean, we're just like everybody else. You guys at home could do the same thing that we're doing. and you're gonna find it kind of entertaining. I mean, we've what, we've been talking for almost an hour, so that's
Have
just
we?
yeah. So that's just almost an hour. So it's kind of
Oh wow.
that's
Okay.
that's something to do, so that you don't get sucked into, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna start eating. There's nothing on TV, or just going crazy at home. Just that's something else to do. So
Definitely, yeah. And mind you guys, the original plan for TGC, or also known as the Guy Channel, is to just bring you shows that we were supposed to, get together with, and this happened, this set us back. So, so now all we're gonna do between me and Carlos is just come up with ideas. So once this thing is over, we're just gonna hit the ground running, and we're gonna bring you some great funny shit for you guys and girls, whoever wants to watch us. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which doesn't matter where you
guys. When we say
Exactly.
guys, we're not saying just one sex. We're
Exactly.
bringing everybody in.
We're multi-sex. Actually, no, we're two-sex.
It
All right.
just everybody.
I'm talking
Everybody.
to everybody. Exactly. And so pretty much we're gonna end it right here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you were able to take off some stress from you guys. Hope you're able to just unwind with us and just hear us yap, because that's what we've been doing. We've been yapping, but we're yapping with style. We're yapping with class. And
I think this one was more of a serious note. We'll try to bring something more lighthearted and funnier to the next
obviously
one.
each channel, I mean not each channel, came in each channel. Well, I'm already getting ahead of myself, but each session that we bring this to you, these Q-tips, as we like to call them, we're trying to keep them as entertaining as possible, but at the same time, if any news development happens, we'll make sure that we'll talk about it, just in case you guys haven't had the chance to see it or anything like that. But we just want to make sure that everyone is informed, everyone is safe, and everyone is keeping sane. That's what matters here. Don't let this get to you guys. So that's all the time we have. Carlos, one for the road. One message for the road.
Just stay safe. Pretty much.
You're boring.
Stay. Hey, just in times like this, though, you gotta be responsible.
Yeah, you do gotta be responsible.
Stay home.
You're
If
right.
you go out, just practice social distancing. Don't be getting up on people's face. I respect that. Yeah, I mean, hey, when you go to supermarkets and pharmacies, you're gonna look to the ground. You're gonna notice there's tapes. Those tapes are there so you can stand behind it, so you're not exposed to other people.
6 feet, exactly. And for my Cuban people,
Baby
una caja china apart.
I,
Yeah. Well, you're Dominican, so you would understand it. Whatever.
well, you're not Chinese, so
Caja china. All the Cubans know caja chinas.
you're not Cuban. So
Doesn't matter. You live in Miami. You're influenced by the Cubans somehow.
I'm
Anywho.
in Broward.
Yeah. Anywho, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna go ahead and give the announcement. Gotta make sure to follow our Instagram page too, the Guys Channel. That's where we'll go ahead and post up, any news that we have, whether it be the next session that we have or just anything, like in general, guys. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and just share this along with people. Just people. Just the more people we have, the more we're able to bring to you guys. So on that final note, it's April 5th, 2020. Shit's serious. There's coronas out there in the street. The world's a mess. But what's the but here, Carlos? What's the but here?
You're the one that set it up, but I'm
Help
not.
me.
I don't know where you're going.
Thanks and peace. And guys, on a serious note, y'all be safe, okay? Peace, guys.